Not much. I'm just really excited about this series. We finally get to the grand finals, mouz versus complexity, and it's gonna be a hell of a couple of games. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Let's go ahead and do the all those announcements that we do at the start of every match. First things first, thanks to our sponsors, TeamSpeak, TeamSpeak, Twitch TV, and Steel Series. And before I forget, we have these competitions. And I think it's too late now for the mouse pad, but just so you guys know they exist, we had a forum competition about regarding predictions. It was final score of the game one, of game two, MVP prediction of game one and game two, theater, most killed player, death count, stuff like that. We had a competition in the forums. Whoever gets the closest will be entered in a lottery to get some sick mouse pads, and then there's also an IRC competition, right, Cap?
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna be giving away a whole bunch of stuff in IRC, so definitely you guys should hop in there. We're gonna have trivia and all that kind of stuff going around. So pay attention to the game, pay attention to the IRC, and you guys should come out with some pretty sweet stuff.
Indeed. And all right, already we have the Darkseer ban that people seem to like to ban against complexity. And then we've got a Chen ban and a Tide ban, but I'm gonna wait and see if the now that we have 5 bans a team, if they're even gonna do the respect ban, if they're gonna actually respect mouz enough to ban Tiny.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've already got that Tidehunter ban in, so no, it looks like it is going to be Anti-Mage, which no surprise there. I mean, that's sort of quite the hero. I mean, they do have first pick on complexity, but maybe they have something else in mind, not wanting to pick up that ultimate rage hero Anti-Mage. But Shadow Shaman now being banned on the mouz team, so finally the bans are done. We're looking at first picks. What's really left on the board? All I see is Furion. Surprisingly, Furion not being banned yet. A lot of times with this extra ban that we've been put in, what do we see a lot of teams going for is their first 1 or 2 picks. They pick up hard support heroes. They pick up a Venomancer. They pick up Vengeful Spirit. But Nature's Prophet is going to be picked up as the first pick since he did make it through the bans. So that's going to be the first pick for complexity. And really, that's sort of a no-brainer. I mean, he's one of the top heroes right now. His effectiveness is amazing all throughout the game, and just being able to put pressure wherever he wants. But mouz, I'm sure they expect Nature's to be first pick, so I'm sure they have something in mind what they're going to do to counter a Nature's Prophet pick.
I don't know. It's 10 seconds. I really want to see if there's going to be Tiny or not. Obviously, complexity knows that it's kind of a disadvantage to pick Tiny in the first 3 banning in the first 3 picks of the round, obviously. So yeah, as I would expect, Windrunner comes out and then Vengeful comes out, which I think is a great pick considering how popular Vengeful Spirit is, especially for complexity. So a good 2 picks right there. I wouldn't be surprised honestly with some kind of a CM or something in response, though. I know that Complexity has been running a lot of CM. And also, they just did an interview recently, and they talked about how they're going to have some kind of new, well, just some new stuff to pull out. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be out from left field or not, but we'll have to wait and see. And there is that CM pick.
5 seconds.
All right, well, you're getting me excited now. I want to see something crazy. I want to see something. I want to see how we first got into this tournament, how Team Fire originally came into this tournament with a new strategy that no one had really gone with.
Take us back.
Yeah, I want to see some innovation right now.
Yeah, it's actually it's funny that you mentioned that. This is the competition. Oh, there's a twin head.
Nice.
Anyway, Jakiro, not twin head. Actually, it's Jakiro in Dota 2, but he is a twin-headed dragon, as we can see. But yeah, it's actually funny that you mentioned that. You know, this is the tournament, the Brawl, where Fire, aka Complexity, got their start in the very first qualifier. Pretty much, I don't know if we should revisit that, but yeah, I mean, beating everybody and then unfortunately getting beat out by AL due to technicalities, and then it's okay. They came back qualifier number 2 and they got in like nobody's business. So and then here they are.
Yeah, I'm also excited about their opponents. mouz just, unfortunately, the last couple of games, they've been couple downers, especially the recent loss against CLG. But mouz, before that, for those last couple of games, they have just been in, man. I mean, I don't know what it is. Every single time I watch mouz, it feels like I'm seeing the best team in the scene and I'm seeing the worst team at the scene at the same time. It's like some games they're just amazing, and then occasionally they'll just get a throw in. So mouz sort of back and forth, but I'm really excited to see them. Beastmaster being picked up in the 3rd pick, and I like Jakiro talking about on the complexity team. We're looking at an early push strat with Nature's Prophet. Really, there's only 2 ways to run Jakiro. It's either you run him with like a Darkseer and a mid game sort of nuke strat, which you have to have a lot of AoE stuns and something to set up with Jakiro, or you run it with a push strat with the his auto attack. Liquid Fire is amazing for pushing towers, does really great damage, really good chip damage over and over again. So that's what I see from the Nature's Prophet pickup. Now Mirana being banned, as well as Venomancer. So again, an early pusher, early game hero being banned out. Now, do you think Crystal Maiden, she's going to be maxing her nukes, I presume, with an early game strat? From what I see right now, she's going to be maxing her nukes, maybe one level of aura, but maxing her nukes is what I see right now.
Yeah, I believe that's pretty much the only way to play CM about nowadays, really. But I do believe when Fluff usually plays CM, he does get up to the level 2 aura, and then I'm pretty sure that's about it. Aside from that, like the big question here is what are they going to do for mid? I'm surprised that more mid picks are not being banned here instead of Vino on the side of mouz. I mean, we don't really have a good mid from complexity so far, considering there's an Invoker banned, Shadow Shaman banned, and obviously Beastmaster taken. I really don't have a very good idea of what complexity is going to do, specifically in the realm of grabbing a mid here.
Right, absolutely, and I'm trying to think what's left for mouz. I mean, they already have some really heavy gank strategy heroes. Windrunner, of course, from the suicide lane, does very well all throughout the mid game, can recover from any sort of losses he gets being in a suicide lane very, very quickly. And then on top of that, Beastmaster in the mid, just what a beast. I mean, running around, hitting those 60-second ultimates is just great for ganking heroes. So mouz is going to be on their feet. They're going to be moved around the map quite a lot. So I wonder if they're going to go all in with that strategy. But we've seen before with mouz, when they run this sort of heavy ganking team fight potential, they like to run heroes like Razor, heroes that aren't really hard carries. They don't really expect to go into late game. They don't try and go late game mouz. They just don't really try for hard carries very often. They go for some semi carries, some heroes that Razor actually being banned by complexity.
Yeah,
so there goes that. So mouz they do not have that option open to them. So really, they have some AoE left out for their team fight potential now. I mean, with the Tidehunter being banned, obviously that great hero that mouz likes to run quite a lot for their team fight. Obviously, Ravage is just insane. But they're missing out on a lot of AoE. They have a lot of single target right now. I'm just going to wonder, with the Razor being banned, what they're thinking about now.
Yeah, it's really, really evident in these bans how much homework these teams have done on each other. Tide is great, but you don't ever ban Tide first ban unless you're going against mouz, and I can see why they did that. Obviously, they're not going to ban Tiny if they ban the Tidehunter. Obviously, that is the single. I guess we could potentially see an SK, a Sand King from mouz. They have been known to do the Tiny Sand King, but I don't think they can pull it off at this point. They need to get into late game at least a little bit here. They don't have that in Tiny. Well, actually, you know what? I said that in the game with Tiny, and then Tiny goes ahead and gets like a Mask of Madness and just totally becomes, your right click. So it's possible, obviously, with that ultimate of Tiny to get that massive passive damage, and all he needs at that point is really attack speed, which he can get in items. But it's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, and here we go, and there's the new pick that they were kind of hinting about, Clockwork. He's really not seen at all, pretty much, in competitive play.
I like it in nice, really good lockdown here. I mean, the hero that I usually think of is Darkseer, but Clockwork is great to line up with a Jakiro pickup. So another lockdown hero being picked up for complexity, which is going to work great so far with their strategy. Now mouz, I don't know, I bet they're kind of thrown for a loop here. I mean, both Jakiro and Clockwork, 2 heroes which are rarely seen. I mean, Jakiro's only been seen in like 1 competitive game in the last couple weeks. Clockwork, not at all to my knowledge. And so they banned out the Enchantress, so there's no jungle, and now they have left either a tri-lane, or they need to pick up some sort of farmer in Broodmother. We might actually, oh man, that's an interesting pickup, because what was it?
I like it.
It was yesterday that we saw a Broodmother tri-lane, actually. Two support heroes basically protecting a Broodmother pickup. Morphling now being picked up. 3 heroes from Complexity that no one has seen pretty much in the meta game so far. And Complexity picking up all 3 of them.
Risky. Yeah, I don't know if that was wise necessarily to pull them all out on the first game. You know, this is a best of 5. Actually, probably should have mentioned that. This is the best of 5. Complexity is up 1, not because they played it, but because they're coming from the winners bracket. So this is the first of at least 2 games. A best case scenario is 2 wins for Complexity. Otherwise, let's just go worst case scenario for them as well. Would be 4 games total. 4. Okay, help me with the math. What is the longest day possible for us, Cap?
Playing.
4 games? 5?
Yeah, something
okay.
like that. I don't know. I'm just keep
5.
casting until somebody
games.
says stop. You know.
It's yeah. So I mean, it could go. We could be here for 5 games. Technically, just wrap your head around that one for a minute, if you will. But no. So we'll see. And I really like the Brood pick. I know personally that Complexity hates playing against Brood, actually. And then we got the Slardar. Slardar doesn't directly counter anyone, but he is great late game, and it's exactly what they need. They also needed a stun in that lane that he's going to be in as well. Actually, he's probably going to be with VS, so we'll see. That would have been fine. That's going to be a very, very deadly lane, actually, if he's going to be laning with VS. So, and there you have it. We've got the full lineups out. You guys can start your predictions now, if you will, and tell me what you think.
Yeah, very interesting. Thinking about Windrunner in a support role, we don't usually see her in that, but she can run it. She does do it very, very well, especially in conjunction with a single target stun where she can set up good shackles. But yeah, I'm just sort of puzzled. The Complexity. I mean, they didn't go all in for a push strat, which is typically what we see from a Jakiro, and pulling it out so early was also sort of surprising. I mean, usually you pick that Jakiro as a 4-5. Solely because of the fact that you're going all in with this push strategy and you don't want the other team to know that yet. And so they picked it up early, and it was kind of puzzling me, and I guess they're just not going for it. Jakiro's going to be laning with the Morphling, it looks like. Well, it looks like we have the Suicide Lane, Nature's Prophet, and Clockwork in middle. So decent little tri-lane. It's just I wonder how well Jakiro is going to fare without getting levels. I mean, in any of the strategies that I've seen with Jakiro and scrims and stuff, you don't run him as a support, especially not in a tri-lane. He just really hurts from not being able to get those levels, his skills. So I wonder if they're not going to do that. Or they're going to 1-2-2 with someone babysitting on the Clockwork in middle. I don't know. It looks like Fluff is moving around now. Also has counter wards already, so they are on top of Vision right off the bat.
Yeah, and Hannah obviously not going to be jungling.
The battle begins.
So, but the thing is that if it is like really, really bad up there, then he can go and jungle. That's the good thing about getting that long lane, Nature's Prophet. They don't have any other junglers. Complexity doesn't have any other junglers, so if worse comes to worse, he can just retreat back to his own jungle and essentially make bottom lane a nightmare and mid lane as well with his teleports. But we'll see if that's what happens in this case. I mean, there is a ward already in his lane. They're going to jump on him the second they possibly can, and they're going to be very successful at that. So I don't see him staying up here very long. We'll have to wait and see. And meanwhile, in mid, we've got a dual lane. TC and IX Mike are going to be dual laning against BM. We're going to see how effective that is shortly. It's going to be very nice because obviously IX Mike going to be able to go and rotate to those runes whenever they come up. I don't see the first rune. It doesn't really matter. It's not that evident. Anyways, meanwhile, Hannah is sitting on that rune, not getting any experience. He's going to walk out to the side here maybe and spot Rexy. There, he's going to see him now. Yeah, and he's probably quickly going to come to the conclusion that this is not going to be fun up here. Meanwhile...
Yeah, interesting. I love Trixie being forced to... Doesn't want the wave to push and actually tanks up all the damage from the creeps very smartly. I mean, you just can't let Furion do that to you. So taking up the damage, taking the hits just in order to make sure that his lane doesn't push as hard. We're already getting a pull coming in, but Hannah doing a really great job with the trees. Of course, that's the strategy nowadays, running it with the suicide lane, just pulling the waves back so they group up, so they end up pushing to your tower, and you are completely safe. You just sit at your tower and you just let your trees do the work, pretty much stacking creeps over and over again until eventually it's at your tower and you're perfectly safe.
Did you see what he did there? He no, look at the wave basically. Look at mouz's wave. It's stacked up because Furion took his own creep, and he diverted the creep wave, and now he diverted the creep wave all the way back to the tier 2 top tower, and now it's a stacked wave, so it will push, and he will see the first bit of now it only push actually if they don't pull these trolls in the corner pull, which I would actually want Rexy to do here. I would like for them to be able to spot how this is going to turn out here, and pull those trolls into the lane and completely deny top any experience. But no, it is going to push, but they are going to at least pull the back wave, and that's going to completely deny it. That is a stacked wave, and that is going to completely deny it. So really, this is going to be the only bit, and it's not even a full wave now. They've denied it so well that it's not even a full wave of experience anymore. So, and he still isn't even getting it. So I mean, and that was his best chance, and he's being pushed back at that. So I mean, really, it doesn't take much to realize that you need to get out of this top lane if you're Hannah.
Yeah, absolutely. At bottom, Broodmother doing a little bit of harassment on Jakiro, but something about Jakiro. Jakiro does really well against Broodmother. If he can get any sort of levels, Liquid Fire and his AoE from Dual Breath. Haste actually coming in. They do have the counters up. They're going to try and pick off the Bamboo, the Haste, but it's just not fast enough. Fluff is not able to catch it. They do get it, but the Dual Breath is not going to hit. That's what I thought. It's just not going to get close enough. Really unfortunate there, but nice heads-up play by Sexy Bamboo, recognizing the danger and backing out very, very quickly. Nice attempted gank by the Haste CM. She's going to run right back to middle, try and push back the Sing Sing as much as possible, but Sing Sing is doing pretty well. 1v2 right now with his 4. He's just harassing the CM pretty much, and so he's doing really well getting CS what he can 1v2. He's actually 5-0, and that's pretty much all with his boar. So once he gets that upgraded boar, which will be a little bit longer, he'll be doing much better in his lane.
Yeah.
But I suspect Ike's Mike is going to be roaming by that time.
Let's just see the damage here of what this top lane is doing to both teams. If you actually open up the brand new F7, your experience is obviously kind of just dramatically going in the favor here of the Dyers, considering. Take a look at level 1 Nature's Prophet. I mean, that's kind of all of it, what it comes down to. But the gold, well, the gold is almost identical, honestly. That's 300. That's next to nothing. So, whereas that is almost 1,000 experience in the favor of. Oh, there finally gets some experience for Hannah actually up top. The creeps finally he's gonna hit whopping level 2 here. Maybe that's a teleport he needed to get the hell out of there. We'll see. See if he goes teleport. He is not spec'd yet. There he did go teleport, but he's gonna go ahead and stay. Well, let's just go ahead and look at the rest of the lanes. The CS. Let's check out the CS for mid. Sing Sing. He is looking at. Why did he not update? Anyways, he's a different name. He's 8-0 in mid compared to TC's 28-8 and IX Mike's 2-2. So obviously the dual lane is extremely effective in mid. I mean, no one's gonna be surprised by that in the slightest. But down bottom, why don't you tell us how that's going?
Well, right now we got Broodmother taking out the stack. Sexy Bamboo recognizing Fluff, stacking the neutrals, and now he's taking that away, and there are no more counters left. So really, he's able to do it for free. Dual Breath, only level 2, isn't enough to really pop spiders quite yet. At level 5, that's when it starts doing work. If you get a Liquid Fire and a level 3 Dual Breath, you pop just tons of spiders and you get tons of gold. But right now, Sexy Bamboo is getting some much-needed extra farm. They've been keeping out pretty decently as much as they possibly can, but actually in middle, getting the first blood CM right before she dies. Great pickup. The men actually barely living with his life with just an extra 50 health. Actually diving in, Sexy Bamboo sees Fluff out of position a little bit too much and gets the kill. Now while Morphling Geo's trying to do what he can, but there's no more counters up. And so Sexy Bamboo, great pickup. Way to recognize, you know, when you can dive towers versus the squishy support heroes and pick up kills like that. That is really needed since he has been kept out of his lane fairly decently by Fluff so far.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that it was Beastmaster that got the kill in mid. Well, Chris, yeah. Actually, I wasn't watching that, unfortunately. That's pretty interesting. Did you happen to see what happened in mid?
I'm sure it was the boar pickup, but I was paying attention to bottom at the time.
Okay. Alright, well, I think that missed as well. All these spells are just missing on Sexy Bamboo. Fluff, I think he missed his Dual Breath, and I believe Geo also missed Waveform. It might have been actually pretty damn close to get the kill there if they both hit, but alas, they did not. So they're struggling a little bit. Obviously, finally, Hannah goes ahead and he heads into the jungle. We see Hannah just now going into the jungle at level 3. literally very surprised that did not happen earlier. I'm not sure why it didn't happen earlier, really. I mean, there was a tri lane up top. They're obviously very smart. I mean, like you said earlier, Trixie tanked an entire wave to keep it out of the range of the tower. They know what they're doing. They're not going to give up lane control, and in fact, they only did actually after some weird maneuvering with Treants, and even then it wasn't like he really was back into the lane. It wasn't really like it was worth it, more or less. So, no, we'll have to see if him waiting so long to get in the jungle is going to hurt him.
Yeah, it's very clear that mouz has dealt with Suicide Lane Furion. It's sort of become much popular in the last month or so, pulling that out. But actually, an Invis rune coming out. He's going to ult that TC, and he's deboned. 2 stuns coming out here. 1, 2, 3 hits, and he's going to be down. So nice little pickup there. Rune control, so important right now, and there is no vision of the runes for the complexity side.
No runes at all, no wards. They're gonna have a go here on Fluff. Fluff's gotta be careful. A little bit more communication. They might have been able to get a kill there on mouz. Sing Sing. Actually, Sing Sing has no more regen except from his webs, but he does have the assistance of a dust gank coming out right now. Smoke gank, Dement, and Rexy, and we'll see what they can do here. They're all pretty much invis, so we're gonna have Sexy Bamboo go ahead and scout ahead. See if he can find any target. Obviously, the target is Fluff here. Fluff is very easy to kill. Geo not very easy to kill. And we're going to see if Dement and Rexy are going to go ahead and move in on this bottom kill momentarily. But we do have Fluff, obviously, where he's hugging the tower. He's probably feeling a little bit of pressure right now. Fluff's got to know what's going on. There's got to be missing calls. And now the creeps are in the range of the tower. This would be the time to go right now if you're mouz. I mean, this would definitely be the time. There's no more creep wave here from complexity. It's literally just 2 catapults and that's it. So they're gonna go ahead and move down, see if they can pick off somebody, and they're gonna go for Fluff. Fluff is gonna be the target, like I said. He's gonna oh my gosh, I think he almost got that. Nicely done, just barely moving out of there. He could have almost actually, you know, it would have been a little bit difficult to kill Fluff with Spiderlings alone, considering his hero. But if he was somebody different, like maybe a VS, he might have actually been in danger of going down there just to Spiderlings alone. But they're going to go ahead and maybe turn their attention to Ix Mike. Ix Mike gets bored from the back. He's in danger of going down. Let's see if they can divert their attention fast enough. We're going to have Sexy Bamboo go ahead and move towards, and Fluff is going to try and get rid of those Spiderlings for him. And now Ix Mike's going to get in danger of getting sniped down. He's actually going to lay the freeze down on Sexy Bamboo. Dement coming from the back, and Rexy as well. Fluff is going to get stunned. We'll see if he's going to get shackled here to anything. TC has arrived. He went ahead and dusted it. Did the dust land? The dust did land on Sexy Bamboo. They're going to go ahead and just stack up all their spells there on Windrunner, grab that kill, and that should be the end of it. Pretty uneventful considering how many people are down there. All 5 from Fluff ended up down there actually in that fight.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication, I guess, when that boar came in. He pinged it and everything, but unfortunately Sexy Bamboo had just thrown out his Spiderling nuke and wasn't ready to go on that CM. So that was really unfortunate. That could have been a really nice, easy pickup. Sing Sing did a very good job microing his boar in order to try and get that kill. It was so close, but in middle, he's doing decently now because everybody moved away. He's going to be able to get a little bit of farm. He's now 22 and 3. You see, once the pressure leaves, Sing Sing's farm just boosts. He's that kind of guy. He's not going to miss the last hit unless there's good reason for it, and there's no good reason now. So he's getting every single last hit. His boar is going to be maxed right now, so that's going to be doing some serious work. And all around, it looks like we see no rune. It's at bottom. Invis going to be picked up by Sing Sing. He's going to probably go into the jungle with that. Still, no wards, no vision down for complexity at that bottom area. They do have 1 ward up at top, but if you see, there's 3 wards up right now. And that plays into mouz's very gank heavy style right now. I mean, they have heroes that benefit very, very strongly from moving from lane to lane to lane and getting little pickoffs. And so their vision shows it. I mean, they've got vision just absolutely everywhere. It looks like we are going to get a dive at bottom. They should easily be able to pick up 1 or 2 heroes fairly quickly. It's just diving is just going to be a little risky. We see 1 teleport coming out. They are going to go on Geo. He's going to be able to teleport away, but nice shackle shot. 1 or 2 more hits. Waveforming out. Hannah comes in right in the middle. He's trying to last hit. Sexy Bamboo missing. TC misses the ultimate. 1 or 2 more hits, but Sexy Bamboo is going to be able to get out. Meanwhile, it looks like the rest of complexity is just going to have to back off, not getting any kills for those teleports. But at the same time, mouz not benefiting from their attempted gank.
True, but at the same time, you've got Trixie just AFK up top. Ari with that Vanguard, Ari with treads. It's 11 minutes in. His gold a minute, if we open that up, is 367. He's farming like a beast. They're completely ignoring him, and they have no choice but to do that. And they might have a bit of a gank here on bottom, actually. Hannah's going to be caught in between a rock and a hard place. Debent just needs to lay that stun down, and it should be enough to get the kill. We'll see if they choose to go on that. No, he's going to get a little bit of communication here. No, he's going to go ahead and just get some Spiderlings instead. He's level 4 on Vengeful Spirit. Doesn't have that swap yet, but with a little bit of communication there, that should have been a pretty easy kill, I feel. But
yeah, Sexy Bamboo has been playing really conservative so far. He's really been working on his farm. He doesn't want a whole lot of hero kills. He's just focused very heavily on farm, and I guess that's what happens when you kind of get kicked out of lane. Fluff did a very good job, obviously, with getting counters early on, and Sexy Bamboo felt it. He's only got treads and a soul ring pretty much right now. And so his farm is hurting, and he hasn't been able to exploit the jungle as much as Broodmother usually hopes to, because of the lack of Spiderlings. So it looks like we're not going to see a smoke, and they are going to probably run into each other. Both teams smoked up, and they are going to run into each other before revealing everything. TC getting stunned, but he's so tanky, he's not going to go down anytime soon. Dement just does not have enough support. He's easily going to be picked up. Now Sexy Bamboo, TC missing his ultimate yet again. When he needs to get out, he's dusted. It's just a little bit too much dust again. They are just blowing dust left and right to make sure they pick up the Broodmother kill. Great job by Complexity. Unfortunately, mouz, thinking they were going to be able to pick up a hero in the jungle, backfires. Just all of Complexity in that bottom lane. But like he said, I mean, they're diverting so much attention at this bottom lane, dodging all these ganks and getting a couple counter kills. But Trixie the whole entire time has just been farming like a boss.
Oh yeah, I mean, he is having the time of his life. Although it's pretty damn boring when you're Trixie in this situation. But still, his time shall come, and when it does, let's see what other characters he has carrying out right now. Oh, he's just finishing his wand. But they're going to go ahead and push bottom. Much needed move here, really. I mean, they've just been they've let top AFK for so long that they really need to do this. The ult comes out there trying to do as much damage. It doesn't actually do all that much. Spiderlings do get a lot of damage. Let's see who actually can get this denied. It is going to be denied here pretty successfully. Geo's going to be in danger going down here, actually. He is morphing to strength, but there's so much chain stuns. He is not able to morph to strength long enough to survive, and the tower is denied at that. So wow, and now a huge play here. They're gonna have to go and turn around. Ult from ult on Fluff. Fluff's gonna go down as well. They get 2 kills, one of them being on morph and a tower deny, and most likely a tower on top of that. So massive turn of momentum there in the favor of mouz.
Yeah, that was just really well executed play, baiting out the tower, throwing down the glyph. Really well done. They're gonna be able to pick up that tower. So giving Trixie even more farm. On top of that, already has 1,400, now boost to 1,600. It looks like they are going to try and jump on this teleport, but wisely that was cancelled, and there was going to be no pickups there. So it really feels like that liquid fire build from Jakiro is just really not paying off. I mean, they should be able to get towers one after the other, but when they trade towers, it's just not worth it. I mean, pretty much they're maxing a hero towards taking down towers, but when they trade like that, it's just not worth it at all. Ike's Mike in a little bit of trouble getting the double slow from Spiders and the Boar, wisely freezing the Boar, but look at all the damage he's taking still. The Spider's going to be diving him. Sexy Bamboo not really feeling safe enough to try and get a nuke off. Meanwhile, Rexy pushing top a little bit, trying to get what farm he can. Seriously missing. Clockwork now has a Hood of Defiance, so he is being just tanky motherfucker. If he can just actually land those ultimates, he's going to be in pretty good shape.
The thing is, though, look at what Hood really provides him against the lineup. Not a whole lot. I mean, Hood doesn't do that much against this team, if at all. I mean, it helps a little bit with your nuke from Brood, whatever. Just here and there, it does help. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a massive, like, if you want a massive team item that's gonna save a team, it's gonna be something like AC. Obviously, we'll see if any of them can ever get that. But let's go ahead and open those graphs again real quick, because it's completely changed. If you go ahead and look at the gold difference, it was slightly in the favor of the Radiant for a while, but then after those turn of events, it definitely dipped down in the side of of mouz, and the experience, obviously, with all those kills going in their favor, is also on their side as well. So this game one, you try and look back. You look back at what they whenever you lose, you look back at what you could have done differently. Maybe it starts with picks, maybe it starts with your lanes. I feel like Complexity is going to look back, and they're going to realize that this was winnable. And I'm not saying they're out of it, but I'm saying the early game was winnable. if they would have just leave top lane. I really got to hand the banning phase though to mouz. I mean, they did a good job banning, and then taking winter. They banned Darkseer. They banned pretty much all the great long lanes. But then again, actually, I remember now that Moran, I believe, was banned by Complexity. They banned their most viable long laner. But even at that though, that I don't really feel like Mirana was going to be the answer here either way. Actually, in all honesty, I feel like their best bet at this point, or at the point of the picks, would have been to keep what they had, to keep Hannah on Nature's Prophet, but just to put him in the jungle from level 1. The only thing you could possibly worry about are Spiderlings, which actually can do quite a number to a Nature's Prophet when he's in his jungle. And don't get me wrong, but we're gonna have 3 up top here. They're surrounded Hannah. Hannah does not know. He's gonna get opened here by Sing Sing. We're gonna see if the help can come in time. The board is gonna be out. The TPs do come as well. Hannah's gonna be okay. We're gonna see if that ice does not hit anybody in either. This is kind of the weakness. Fluff's hero, Jakiro, is alright, but that's what he needs. He needs somebody like Ice Mike's stun for sure to really do a whole lot. They're gonna continue to dive here. 1-for-1 trade, actually, unfortunately. That's all they're able to get out of it. Geo is in the vicinity, and Spiderling has arrived as well. It is now going to be Fluff going down, so 2-for-1 exchange. Actually, Fluff not going down yet. Geo forced to run as well. Now Fluff's going to go down. Trixie's in danger of going down as well, and he is going to go down to the burn. TC goes ahead and finishes off that kill. Geo now is going to probably be... oh, and the 2 snipes from Rexy and Sexy Bamboo are going to be enough to finish off Geo. Geo not having the farm game that he wants right now.
Yeah, I would just say that was really well disciplined by mouz, attempting the gank. Obviously, it could have gone a lot better if they had the heroes a little bit closer in position and just popping the Furion real quickly. But the moment they saw teleports, they backed up, and that's just something that really defines the top teams and just competitive teams in general, is that little bit of discipline and just instantly backing up. And the fight didn't go well for them. Unfortunately, Trixie going down on Slardar was really big. Really well done by Clockwork. TC isolating the Slardar, helping Jakiro live, and actually because of that, Jakiro did a lot more damage. He got a couple liquid fire hits on Slardar, and just all around did a ton more damage, solely because Clockwork is able to lock down on that Slardar. So really well done by him. And because of that, unless I'm just missing something, did Beastmaster buy back? Because I'm like, where did his gold go?
Well, we can open it up and see. Oh, actually, no, we can't. We can't scroll that side down, can we? I'm not sure entirely if he bought back. But
yeah, apparently the word is he did, which is something to note, because that's going to delay his Blink Dagger. It looks like Trixie's going to be picking up that BKB, and then Sing Sing is going to be grabbing the Blink Dagger to initiate. I'm a little bit surprised. I would almost expect something like Necronomicon to just drain the Morphling. Morphling being sort of hero with a second life in the same regards as Skeleton King. If you take away his mana, his effectiveness is greatly reduced. So maybe we're going to see that later on in the game. But I kind of expect Necronomicon. But Trixie being level 11, they're going to be able to take on Roshan very, very quickly with minus 13 armor. I mean, look at that thing. In conjunction with a Vengeful Spirit. Wave of Terror, so much physical damage out from Trixie. Yeah, I'm surprised that with Rocket Flare, did Rocket Flare scout it and they just didn't care, or did they just not even bother to Rocket Flare at it? You know, honestly, I'm not sure, but well, either way, I'm really missing what should be a really big gank game from TC on Clockwork. You gotta realize that it's not as impactful as it could be or should be. He is invis. He can do a little bit here, but I mean, again, Trixie's massive, and he's got the support of Dement behind him as well. But TC has unfortunately on Clockwork not had the impact that he traditionally has on these games. A lot of the problem with Jakiro as a hero is that his stuff relies on stationary targets. And, you know, obviously TC is great at that. With that cog, he can go. He just has to land one. He has to be in a good position, and he has to cog somebody. But then again, the VS pick absolutely breaks that synergy that you have between Fluff on Jakiro and obviously the Clockwork on TC. It doesn't completely break it, considering still gonna somebody's still gonna be sitting in that mess of hot fire. It's gonna be a VS, but it's not gonna be who you wanted it to be. But either way, even without the VS, it hasn't been as... and they're going to have a go here. They're going to stack up a bunch of stuff. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. He's too tanky, and all the TPs do come in, and nothing happens. We do have four in mid from Complexity.
One's going to TP top for that farm. He's going to try and... we're going to see Fluff just kind of shadowing Sexy Bambo. He is now does have enough levels to be very effective against those Spiderlings. And fortunately for Complexity, the good news is that Geo is down bottom. He's being left alone farming his golden minute. As Risen just barely above 300, 318. He's realized that he's probably participated almost a little bit too much in these ganks. He needs to just go and farm. He'll be much more effective if he can get obviously what he's working towards, that Lincoln's, sorry, it escaped me for a moment there, but yeah. Meanwhile, we do have 3 in mid for Complexity, 4 in mid for Trixie. See if they can kind of get a go here. They don't have any blinks yet on either of their initiators. But it doesn't matter. I mean, what they're doing is they're just letting Trixie farm mid. They're letting their Spider farm top. And bottom is what they really need to worry about now, actually. They need to address Geo. They need somebody, A, they need somebody farming bottom, and B, they need to scare Geo away from that free farm.
I was actually wrong about Beastmaster picking up Blink Dagger, and I guess I was just surprised the fact that he was just saving up. At one point he had like 1,800 gold, and it's like you usually buy those items as soon as you're able to. You pick up those items, so I figured since he was saving up so much, he must have been going Blink Dagger. But he does actually passes that by and it says go for the Hood of Defiance. So he's going to be trying to pick up Pipe. So as soon as they have their 2 PKBs up on Trixie and Sexy Bamboo, and on top of that Pipe, they're going to be dodging so much. Jakiro's going to be pretty much useless at that point. And they're just going to be able to force fights over and over and over again before Geo hits that really powerful shotgun Morphling. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Pipe and Hood in general is so much more effective against Complexity than it is on top of on Complexity. And Pipe is finished on TC, but again, like I said, we'll see how much that actually helps. It does help with the burst, and honestly, it wouldn't even be so bursty if it wasn't for how underfarmed some of the like IX Mike is. IX Mike, he just has boosts. I mean, he's going to get killed here almost by Spiderlings up top by himself. You can very easily burst him down. Pipe will be very useful. The Pipe buff will be very useful on Mike, but it really shouldn't be. I mean, Mike, in a better game, is going to have some more tankability, and he's not going to be able to be pretty much one-shot. But as it is, he can, so. Yeah, Mech being picked up by Hannah. On top of that, a haste now on DC, and it looks like we might have a go at middle here. They're trying to take down that tower, and that tower, BKB now on Trixie, and I'm sure Sexy Bamboo is just, he already has it. It's on its way very shortly here. So they do have those 2 BKBs, and really the biggest thing that's left is Pipe for them. And I think if they just force fights over and over and over again, their tankiness is just going to win out. Geo's not going to have hardly any damage, pretty much. He's going to be able to pick up Lincoln's fairly soon, and that's all he's going to have. He's just going to have 1 spell shield and a little bit of damage, but overall he's not going to be doing a whole lot. It's not going to be that big of a factor. So I think that once they hit that 35 minute mark, mouz is just going to start trampling all over the map and hopefully get up some good vision and pretty much starve Complexity for farm. Yeah, I don't disagree. Literally, the only thing their lineup is missing at this very moment is that initiation. The second that they can manage to get that initiation on somebody, like a Blink, then there's absolutely nothing preventing them from just steamrolling Complexity at this point. I mean, the farm is just out of control on the carry specifically. Overall, you see, like, it's not huge. Like, you cannot pause. Oh, it's not massive. Out of control. In fact, look at the gold. The gold is pretty much very close. The problem is who's it's on. Like, look at the golden minute for it's 367, and then you've only got 339 on a Morphling. Morphling should be able to farm a lot better than that, and Morphling should not have, how many deaths does he have? He just have 2 deaths and only 1 kill. That's not a very good game for Morphling. They've done a very good job of addressing Morphling. Oh, well, we are going to see numerous people down bottom. Boat is going to go down here for sure. Actually, no, he already has that BKB. He's going to be able to do some work and TP out. Actually, he's going to be just fine. Where was he? What was it ult? Did he blow the ult early? Did TC ult he
prematurely?
blew it right off the bat.
Oh my goodness, this is just unlucky. It's not unlucky. It's unfortunate that they're making these mistakes. You have more than enough disable there in the form of IX Mike. He's got slow, and he's got obviously his frostbite. That's all you need to keep him rooted. You should have just been able to save that hook shot. And now they're going to have to go ahead and sprint here on Trixie. Trixie's going to do it, or TC's going to do a nice job there. Actually, it's only going to block him once. Trixie's still going to be able to walk around, and his allies are shortly behind him. but they're gonna go ahead and not be able to pursue that. But still, these mistakes. This comes down to play. Like literally, this lineup, it was winnable, and it is winnable for Complexity. The only thing they can blame this loss on, if it does turn out to be a loss, is play.
Yeah, absolutely, and mouz has just been on top of it right now. Complexity trying to push top, and they don't have any tower to really take. It looks like they are going to try and head middle, but top tower is going to go down before that easily, and we should maybe see Complexity trying to defend this. Actually, maybe they're just going to give it up. They're going to just try and keep pushing the side lanes and just give up this tier 1 tower.
Well, they do have all 4, and they do have obviously Hannah. He's going to be TPing as well. We'll see if they are going to finally grab somebody. Dement is not going to be able to swap out to safety, so a nice pick. Oh no, I spoke too soon. He was near somebody, and they are going to go ahead and try and get Dement. Dement does go down here. Sexy Bambo is going to be TPing out once again. No, he stops his TP actually. He's going to be walking out. Sexy Bambo is BKB is going to go down very shortly, and nice timing there from Geo. Gonna go ahead and pick that up with a waveform. Nicely done. Trixie's in danger as well, but that's not going to be enough. They're not fast enough. Pipe does come out, and they are going to go at least get 2 kills there and a mid tower. So, and just as I was, you know, worried about that play from Clockwork, he goes ahead and he does some work.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, mouz. I mean, their spacing there was really poor. I mean, having 2 heroes separated
positioning was
on the other
bad.
side of the river, especially when you have Clockwork, that's just not a good idea. mouz really needed to be grouped up there when they attempted for that tower backdoor, and if they didn't get it, they decided to back up, and they just needed to back straight to their base. They couldn't go any other way, really. And it was like, we're going to have Trixie coming in with the BKB, trying to do work, but getting pushed by cogs all over the place. He's just not doing any damage. He's going to pick up Fluff. Nice stun coming out. Bash is coming out on Geo, left and right. He can't stop it, but Geo gonna try and wait for him, but he's slowed down. He is too slow.
No, he's done.
just trying to max out that strength, but really the amount of physical damage coming out is just too much. And so they're gonna pick up 2 hero kills in exchange for that tier 2 tower, and presumably push through middle and take at least a tier 1 from that. IXMike doing a nice job counter warding, doing what he can. Actually gonna be able to pick up phase boots. Guess speed is just the name of the game right now for him. He just needs to be able to outrun Spiderlings at this point.
Sad when that's the sole purpose of your existence, is to outrun Spiderlings. But yeah, Complexity could really do for like a 4-staff here. There's so much annoying slow coming out from Boar and from Spiderlings, and in general, it would really help him. But the problem is the farm on the supports. Oh, they're gonna have another missed. That wouldn't really have accomplished too much, to be honest, even if it did hit. But let me look at the actual farm for the supports in general. We've got Nikuro 215 and IXMike at 160. IXMike struggling a little bit, but if you compare it to Vengeful Spirit, who's at 137, it's even worse for him. Windrunner's at 208. So the farm, but look at Slardar at 390 compared to Geo's 350. That is scary, and there's got to be a new item by now, actually, well, I guess Aegis. That doesn't really count. Oh, and the Blink Dagger is actually taken on Trixie, and that is going to be absolutely huge. So look for that. Obviously, the next team fight, we've got we've had the BKB on Broodmother. Any other things? We've got the pipe on
being picked up, yeah.
Beastmaster. We've had Mech for a while on Hannah. He's working towards his Sheepstick. Nature's Prophet. Drums and pipe on Clockwork, and we do have a 4-staff on Fluff, so that would have been handy last game, or last kill there on Geo. But either way, so some more item pickups, but the real problem here is Complexity is going to have to contend with what's essentially going to be 4v5, because if with a successful initiation by obviously the Slardar, I mean someone's gonna go down and go down very quickly, and here we're gonna have a smoke.
Yeah, this is really the point where mouz just needs to go all in and just shove it down Complexity's throat. I mean, they have pipe, they have those sort of items. They keep picking up hero kills, picking up these tier 2 towers as well. They can get those additional items for the late game. But it looks like blinking in, Trixie doing a nice job initiating. There goes the Blink Dagger, paying off. IXMike is also going to go down here fairly quickly. Geo's going to be the only guy who gets out. Pipe actually being blown by Sing Sing as well. I guess just, I don't know if that was just sort of a mistake. I presume they should have waited until they started pushing those tier 2 towers to defend against that. But they're going to back out. It looks like they're going to go for Roshan here. Very well timed. mouz recognizing when Roshan gets up, they get 2 picks off of it, and they're going to go right for it. So really well played, really well timed by mouz. Complexity not really wanting to give it up so easily. 3v5 is going to be hard for them, but maybe they can put in enough fear into mouz to keep them from doing Rosh, waiting for the allies. Geo getting gone on, but really there's nothing to stop him from waiting. Trixie actually blinking in. He doesn't wait for him all the way across the river, and he's going to get caught out now. TT locking down 2 heroes. Sexy Bamboo and Dementor trapped. Nice coming out. Geo surviving. Now Trixie's trapped in the river. TC trying to get out as best as he can. Locking down Hannah, trying to do what work he can, but mouz 4 on 5. He's going to have to back up from this fight. Complexity, can they pick up any more kills off of this? Sing being completely blocked. Hannah doing a great job with this trance, and they are going to pick up an additional kill off of that. So 2 kills. For Complexity, great job.
Wow.
Really done by Complexity.
People need to realize what just happened there. I mean, Geo just did such a good job utilizing who he is. He is Morphling. He is hard to kill. What he did is he pretty much baited himself to distract what was a 5v3. People have to realize it was a 5v3 with a Slardar. I mean, you can literally just probably ignore, if you think about it, you can ignore the 3 that are messing with you. They're going to actually have buybacks, which mouz is known for, and they're going to come in there with BKB on Sexy Bambo. Ike's Mike in danger, but he's actually going to be, oh man, Sexy Bambo is going to get cogged. He's going to get swapped out. Now it's going to be Dement who's going to go down instead. Ike's Mike going to go down there by the hands of Trixie, but still, it's still not really worth it. It's actually just a 1-for-1 exchange. And they're going to go ahead and continue to get it. And they are just going to shoot stuff into it, and let's see if they can actually manage to do anything. mouz Trixie does have blink up. He should be able to do it if they have vision. mouz is going to blink back in and get another stun. Geo. And Slardar picks up the Aegis, and Roshan is killed by the Dire. Nice steal there from mouz. Amazing play. mouz not only gets the kill on Roshan, but the Aegis. Just unbelievable play there from Trixie. And they're actually going to pick up a kill here on Hannah as well. That was just brilliant. Did they even have vision, or did they just time that with... Oh, they do have Hawk. So nicely done.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just afraid that mouz had just thrown away their gigantic lead in this mid game, and picking up that Aegis is just turned around that horrible team fight for them. So really well done. Trixie pretty much manning up and changing the path of the game with one simple little blink.
No doubt about it. That was absolutely huge. Nice play there with the Hawk, obviously providing vision. That was very much needed because, like you just said, they really had just thrown away their lead, and they just got it back from that. Fortunately for mouz. But and with that, it's 34 minutes in. Let's go ahead and open up some items, some golden minutes, see what's going on. We're gonna have the teams kind of just spread apart right now. We've got Geo still sitting at 350. Trixie still sitting around 390. Right now, he's at 387. Sexy Mambo 330. Sing at 218. Rexy at that as well, and the Dement at 140, slowly moving up from 120. Meanwhile, Ike's Mike kind of going down a little bit to 150. Hannah up to 276, which is unfortunately not the highest for Nature's Prophet. Not being as annoying as a Nature's Prophet can be. Clockwork is having a pretty good game at this phase of the game. He did a nice solo kill actually to set that off. When Geo was actually diverting the attention of everybody, TC found a really good position to ult, and he actually killed somebody before, you know, in the midst of the entire basically mouz team. He got a kill, and he made it a 4v3. And then it was a 4v4 with Fluff walking back to that Rosh fight. But either way, you can't take anything away from the nice play that Complexity had at Rosh initially. It was a 3v5 scenario. They baited Geo for a long time. Geo got some chain stun on him. He morphed his strength. He morphed his teammate, and he got to the other side of the river. During the midst of that, TC got a kill, making it 4v. Like I said, making it 4v3. And then shortly after that, Fluff respawned, and he walked back. So they did literally an amazing job there. And all things considered, they would have turned the game around essentially if it wasn't for that amazing play there from Slardar.
Yeah, something interesting. We're talking about Geo picking up his ultimate orb. I mean, he has basically 1 or 2 things that he can go here. Typically, we used to see the Manta style being picked up all the time on Morphling, but now you can't replicate illusion. So I figured that had fallen out of style. But with his ultimate orb, he can either pick up that or he can pick up a Scotty. And usually, typically, we would see the Manta first, and then we would see a Scotty as a 4th item. And against this many melees, it'd be incredibly powerful. giving that additional stats. But I don't know. I mean, I guess he does with Manta. He's gonna be able to get rid of a lot of debuffs coming out from Sardar. Getting rid of that armor is really important. So I guess he's gonna pick that up regardless of the fact that he cannot replicate illusions anymore. But it looks like we're gonna see a fight here. Geo instantly replicating away, and gonna try and teleport out.
Oh my goodness!
Sing barely missing out on an ultimate.
Yeah. People forget that unless there's no greater hawk around, then you can't see into those trees. So he was away from sight inside of his little. He was tree hugging. He was tree hugging until he TP'd out of there just in time. So that was a nice little escape there from Geo as well. But I like what they're doing there, at least diverting the attention of mouz and what mouz needs to be doing with the massive advantage that they just recently regained again. Is push, although I'm not going to say it's a massive advantage anymore. They do have more experience by a lot, actually. If you look at the experience graph, they have 5k more experience, but they don't have much of a gold, they don't have any gold advantage anymore. They gave that away, and they definitely did give that away. If you look at how much they had at one point, it was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, this is still their time to shine. I mean, the mid game is where they should really come out and crush. But you're absolutely right. I mean, they gave away what little advantage they had. Complexity has done a very good job, farm wise, keeping up as much as they can. You know, Geo farming away as much as he can. But all around the rest of the supports have been doing a really great job picking up what, you know, in the jungle, picking up neutrals, that sort of thing. Just little bits of farm here and there. While there isn't any fight going on, they've been picking up that little bit of farm that has kept them in the game, kept them with, you know, some useful items and that sort of thing. And really, mouz backing up. Really, I wonder what they're waiting for.
I don't know, man.
I mean, you could pick up an Orchid right now on Sexy Bamboo, and try and stop that Morphling.
Yeah.
But he hasn't picked it up.
He's got 5.2k, like you mentioned, and absolutely would be amazing. But the thing is, though, is that they've waited so long. Like, I really, honestly, if Sexy Bamboo would have gotten that, you could even say earlier, before Black King Bar. I know a lot of people actually don't like, a lot of pros don't like getting Black King Bar first item on a Broodmother. And I think this would have been one of those games where, especially if you consider that you have a VS, shit hits the fan, you can get swapped out. Sexy Bamboo, I feel like he could have gone that earlier game, Orchid, and absolutely this game would be so much different. Geo would not have been able to get away pretty much ever. And now they've waited so long that Geo is going to be close to getting, like you said, that Manta. And now the effectiveness of the item pickup is not even going to be that much. He's going to block A. He's going to have to waste the nuke on him. If it's kind of like a solo engagement type of thing. If this team can't help and blow up that Lincoln Sphere, he's going to have to waste the nuke on him. And then B, he's going to silence, but it's not going to silence an item. Geo at that point is just going to be able to use his, like you said, he's going to be using Manta, get out of silence, and then he's going to be able to go to town. So that might actually come back and haunt them. The items, and what I'm talking about again is the item choices of Sexy Bamboo and Spider.
Yeah, it's just really hard. I was going to talk about that earlier in the game. It's really hard to judge when you're going to have to picking up BKB and forcing team fights over and over again. You know, it's dangerous. If you don't end up winning those fights, mouz did not end up winning the fights as handily as they should have. Complexity had some really great moves in these team fights. Got some own picks of their own. And so they didn't handedly win all the fights that they normally planned on. And now Sexy Bamboo, you're right, he's behind in farm, and he's not going to be able to pick up Orchid. Instead, he's just going to have to go straight for Butter, and just hope that extra damage output is going to be enough to down Geo without the silence. He's going to have to deal with the strength morphing and him going to be waveforming and replicating away, and it's going to be very hard for them to lock him down now.
Yeah, and we do see a Hyperzone pick up there on Trixie. That bash is going to be coming out in great abundance. And that bash also is going to be, you know, going to be granted to that Slardar. Why am I having trouble? Okay, morph. Replicate. The Slardar replicate. He's going to be go ahead and take that back. That bash, I do believe it propagates to the replicate, right?
Yes, I believe so. Any passive effects, I believe.
So that's going to be very handy, obviously, for Geo if he can get that on, especially when Trixie finishes that that AC. I believe the AC even would propagate as well, wouldn't it? And it does finish.
I'm not quite so sure
no
about
items
the
no?
auras.
Oh, and Hari says it does. We'll have to double check. But I mean, that's gonna be huge if he can actually get that bash. Obviously, with that attack speed and the AC, he's just gonna. I mean, that we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that because that's a pretty big play if he's able to manage to do that. That is huge. Obviously, that bash is gonna be absolutely monumental in a team fight, and so is the AC, that is the armor, the buff and debuff that it's gonna provide. But meanwhile, it is only 12 to 16, actually 41.5 in. Not the most the highest kill game. Regardless, the action is huge. The gold, again, if you open that gold up, it's still pretty much in the same, but the experience is not the same. The experience continues to plummet in the favor of the Dire. As Geo and Sexy Bambo going to have a bit of an engagement. Geo's just going to go ahead and morph away.
So it looks like mouz, they're backing up and they're farming, and even after picking up their AC and their butterfly on Slardar and Broodmother respectively, they are not pushing. They're not forcing these fights. Instead, they're going to stick back and farm, and I think they're just going to go for the hard late game here and expect for a Broodmother and Slardar to be able to outcarry a Morphling. And it's been a while since we've seen Morphling, and it might be good enough. I mean, Morphling is typically a hard carry. He does some good work in the mid game with waveform and his abilities just to get away, but he can hard carry very hard. But I guess, I don't know, with Replicate not working on Manta style, it's just that little extra bit that really takes it away. In Dota 1, after that was taken away, we were seeing more of a shotgun Morphling style, where he was more of a mid semi-carry sort of game, where he would crush in that 40-minute time. And I guess it looks like at the top river. Oh,
Smoke.
I was clicking over there. I thought I saw some sort of action.
Oh, Fluff.
Getting way too close, unfortunately.
That was passing, unfortunately for them. Fluff. They were gonna go through mid. Not through mid. They're gonna go through bottom rune, and it was gonna be a flank. It's gonna be a little flankeroo there from Complexity, and it was probably gonna be pretty effective. Although not for sure success, considering they would have to walk up 2 hills. There's definitely some danger involved, but unfortunately they wasted a smoke. They're gonna have to just push right down the lane now. We'll see how effective it's gonna be. The real story here is, are you going to be able to kite away from Trixie? And they do go ahead and look at that Slardar. He is replicated, and they do bring it back. So are they giving that AC? They do. They do have that AC buff. Sardar's going to be up. The replicate's going to be up front, and it's getting damage. They cannot afford to give that away. And the tower does get destroyed. So wow, huge replicate right there. They're going to go ahead and maybe grab somebody. No, nice play there from Sexy Bambo. Just go ahead and save his Slardar carry. And this push train is just so strong, especially with that Slardar replicate. This would not be so simple without if they were just to prevent the Slardar replicate. Unfortunately for them, the range now. Oh, they're gonna have a go here. Sexy Bambo is gonna get swapped out. Now, actually no, they're gonna swap out TC. Instead, they're gonna swap in 2 people into the cogs. Unfortunately for them, now TC is gonna go down. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get piped to safety fast enough. IX Mike getting mommed down as well. Now BKB wears off from Sexy Bambo. Meanwhile, in the backfield, we've got Trixie going down to Illusions. Fluff, he's going to get the slow out, not going to be enough. Geo is still up. Where is Geo? Geo's not in a fight. Geo, meanwhile, is just mid.
Yeah, Geo attempting to put a stop to the Broodmother. The lifesteal was just way too much, and he couldn't do anything about Broodmother pretty much solo killing 3 heroes in a row, and he just ended up having to replicate to middle after that the team fight was lost, and just try and push where he could. And it's just the single target damage. I mean, Slardar with the minus armor on top of that Broodmother being able to lifesteal through and everything, they have to have more push sticks and more ghost scepters in order to dodge that damage, and they don't right now. So Sexy Bamboo is just going to start crushing things and could be able to lifesteal back everything, and Geo's not going to be able to do anything about it. He can't target the Broodmother, and I think he realizes that now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it all comes down to. Like I said before this fight even started, is the ability to kite like I said, Trixie, and on the same note, Sexy Bambo. You've got melee carries. You only have 2 melee carries on mouz, so it is very possible, and it should be something that Complexity should be putting a focus on, a huge emphasis on. Should be the ability to fight, to kite the melee carries. It is incredibly doable, and you know, it's something that they need to be attempting to really abuse. Is the how easy it is to kite melee carries. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder because Trixie has obviously sprint, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kite, but it's definitely doable. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's not a whole lot of magic damage coming out. especially with pipe. Since they do have pipe, if you can get a good pipe on complexity and then a good ghost scepter, you're going to be mitigating a lot of damage for a decent amount of time. But it really comes down to you're going to need a lot more of that stuff. You need more pipes, more ghost scepters, and more teamwork in general, more coordination. Yeah, I mean, looking back on that team fight, you had TC go in on somebody. Unfortunately, with VS just ruins it for their lineup. I mean, you can get initiations. They swapped out. What they did is they swapped out. I don't know if there's an accident or not. And it didn't really seem to matter in the long run, but they swapped out TC instead of whoever they went on. So they had 2 people inside the cogs, and then TC went down very quickly after that. He did get forced, but it was too little too late. He got forced pretty much as he was going down and into the enemy team anyways. There just wasn't quite enough heads-up play, quite enough teamwork that honestly we're used to seeing from complexity.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and I think Ghost Scepter was actually just picked up on IX Mike. I don't think he had that last team fight because he just got like 4-shot pretty much. So he couldn't have had that Ghost Scepter. So he has that now at least, and they do have some push sticks. Another thing to notice is TC with the Blade Mail. Once that BKB is down on Seki Bamboo, it was a 7-second BKB that last time. It's going to go down to 6 and 5 respectively very soon here. But once that goes down much shorter, they're going to be able to utilize their crowd control much better with the sheep stick on Hannah. Really, I just think that Spider was just able to be magic immune for way too long. Hannah was distracted, and he got basically 3 heroes went down before the BKB was up. And they weren't able to crowd control that Spider at all. And so they just got wrecked because of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, like you mentioned, we've got Ghost Scepters up now. We've got Ghost Scepter on Fluff, Ghost Scepter on Mike, Push Staff on Fluff, and Sheep on Hannah, and Ghost Scepter also on Hannah. How many Ghost Scepters do we have? We got 3. Pipe. We got a Blade Mail on TC. No new items on Geo. And that pretty much sums it up. But yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, that last team fight was almost an ideal situation. All the BKBs were used, and they were used effectively. Like, they weren't being kited. So it really just comes down to kiting. This next team fight, we're going to see if they can kite. Aegis of the Immortal is taken on Trixie, so that's going to be something else I have to worry about. But really, as long as... I mean, if you win a team fight at this phase of the game, 48 minutes in, the Aegis is really honestly not going to mean that whole much on Slardar, especially if he burns BKB before he goes down. Now, if he saves BKB for when he respawns, then that's a different story. He could come back and do work, but we'll have to wait and see. So we're going to have a smoke gank, 4 up top from complexity. They're going to get spotted, or it's going to run out. Either way, they're in plain sight now. They're completely spotted. And they're gonna ignore that. Now Trixie's just gonna go ahead and focus down mid, and he's doing a great job at that. Obviously, there's -5 armor on that tower. It's just getting dropped. And we'll see if they can get a replicate. No, Geo's nowhere to be seen. Geo has 3,300. He's desperately trying to farm for that butter, I believe. And they're gonna go ahead and get that tower. That's gonna be that. So they are just gonna make the conscious decision to leave that. We really need Hannah to just be annoying. He needs to go top. He needs to TP top. He needs to get out of mid and let somebody else who is in the immediate vicinity, which there are plenty of people. Like right now, he should just go top. Or at least now they do see the entire team bottom. So, and he could easily look at top. Look at top right now. You could easily TP top and just trade this for bottom. If you're Hannah, which he needs to go do. They're not going to defend this bottom. And now this push, now they're going to be able to maybe TP top if Glyph is up. No, they're going to get it anyway. So simply lucky for complexity that Glyph was not up and that TPs were not used to save that top tower. Meanwhile, they're all going to have a 5v5 push here. First base fight, first base crack. Obviously, Tracy going to be in front, soaking up all that damage. Geo, the real Geo is the only Geo. There we go. Now he's replicated back into the team fight. Okay, well, they distracted long enough. There's some a little bit of damage on that bottom tower. And about a 6 of its health is now down. And Mao is just unwilling to fight a straight 5v5. And look, we've got lifesteal now. Helm of the Dominator actually was taken, which is pretty interesting considering how disabled Geo seems to be getting in these team fights. We'll see if that is actually going to be able to pay off. But it's exactly what he needs, though. Don't get me wrong, to actually go hand in hand. What actually? How did he get caught there? Exactly.
He
Oh gosh,
teleported
now
into 3 heroes. Trixie was invis pretty much, and he teleported right in there. Gio's gonna try and do some work on this Spider though. Spider actually popping the Axe, trying to get out now. Really great play by Sexy Bamboo, popping that Axe in order to get out. Really well done. It looks like they are gonna be able to trade 1 for 3 pretty much. Hannah does not. He does have a teleport, but he's not gonna try and do that again. He just got pretty much mobbed down in half a second by Trixie and Sexy Bamboo. So yeah, I just think that if Complexity, I don't know, normally I would say that if they just give it a little more time and Morphling, every single time I see Morphling, you're just like, okay, give Morphling a little bit more time, get that extra 1 to 2, 3 items, and he's gonna be able to do serious work. Because right now he doesn't have the damage items. All the damage he gets is from stats, which is, you know, a significant amount. He's hitting for 240 a hit, but it's not what you would like to see from your hard carry at this point in the game. And it looks like he is going to be trying to pick up Scotty here. He picked up the Helmet Dominator, so that's going to help a lot for his survivability. But after that, he looks like he's going to be trying to pick up Scotty, which is really going to help against those melee carries. And I was really interested to see what he was going to do. If he goes for the Scotty, he's going to be able to slow the heroes down and get some of the extra stat, which he can transform into a little bit more damage. But I wasn't sure if he was going to do that or go for a much heavier like MKB style and just max out the damage right now, because really that's the main thing, is they just don't have that giant glass cannon from Gio. He does what work he can, but really the other team is just way too tanky. The lifesteal's coming out from Broodmother is too much. And it looks like they are glomming around Roshan, and I didn't think Roshan was going to be up at least for another couple minutes.
Yeah,
I thought they had the time to burn for that cheese, but it looks like they know the timing. I actually didn't catch when Roshan went down, unfortunately.
I never do. But we're going to have the patented Complexity flank here. We'll see if this is going to work. They do have the high ground advantage. Now they're actually going to catch some. Dement, if they can do this. Oh, nice. Now Dement's not going to be able to save Sing Sing with the swap. This is going to be actually huge. He's going to get chained down and he's going to go down now to 3v5. The buyback does come back. Beastmaster is now back. But look at these BKB carries just doing work. Absolutely doing work. Complexity, Hannah's forced to run off. He's going to surround himself, and it's going to be enough. Nicely done. This is the kiting I'm talking about. Trixie's going to go down here if he's not careful. Trixie does go down. Sing Sing just now comes back after that buyback. Spider is still alive and well. Trixie does come back with the Aegis now, so this is going to be a little bit one-sided. Now Gio does survive though, at least. All things considered, Aegis and buyback, that was not the worst, honestly, the worst engagement for Complexity, but it is what it is, and that was in the end that was a win for mouz. And you got to be careful. Gio doesn't go down here as well. He did the best he possibly could have right there by getting out with his life. But either way, 4 go down there in the end for Complexity. A good number went down there as well for mouz, but mouz is probably the team most known for just buying back at all costs. I mean, you buy back if you have the money. It seems that they just buy back regardless of even if you're able to get back into the team fight very fast. But Beastmaster was able to get back into that team fight sooner than later, and he was able to do work. So all in all, good buyback. Obviously, the Aegis was a big factor there. The team fight had kind of already pretty much ran its course at the time Trixie came back, and in that scenario, Trixie is going to be able to do a good deal of work. And they still are milling around, like you said, that Rosh. You got to expect it to come up here any second. They've been there for literally like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like they didn't actually take down the timing, which a lot of teams tried to do. Hannah getting caught out.
Yeah, I know what that was.
Once again, Trixie trying to go in, trying to just glom down these hero, popping the DKB to keep away from the Ice Breath. Now chasing down IX Mike. Ghost Scepter is going to help him live for a little bit longer. But once again, Complexity is going to be down at least 2 or 3 heroes. Nice attempts to teleport there, but unfortunately Vengeful Spirit was on top of that one. Now Gio is actually getting caught out a little bit. He's going to have to try and replicate. He does get away. He does not get permabash. They know where he's at, but he's going to be able to teleport away very shortly. And now Roche is up. Finally, and it feels like I was going to say that last team fight really came down to Roche timing. It feels like Complexity shouldn't have tried to force a fight if they knew Aegis and Cheese was still up. And they didn't have any vision of Roshan. And if they didn't record the time, like a lot of teams just, you know, hit into chat and type it real quick, and so they can go back and reference when Roshan died.
Yeah.
If they didn't have that, then they might have assumed that, oh, Roche is down, we have to. Roche is back up. Aegis is down. Cheese is down. We should flank them right now, and get them. That would have been a much. That would have been great. It was great. For
that would
them.
have been
Unfortunately,
ideal.
Aegis and Cheese was still up, and so really, I think it all comes down to is the Roche timing.
Are there 2 cheese in play? There are 2 cheese.
Regeneration.
Yeah, Aegis is
Brood never. Wow,
Aegis
that's
is burned when
how...
Roshan comes back up, but Cheese is not.
Yeah. All right. Well, that goes to show how easy of a time Brood has been having. Brood's been able to keep the very first cheese that they got a long time ago. So this is going to be the first base crack. 5v5. It should be pretty one-sided here, to be completely honest. Trixie does not have the Aegis this time. Who has the Aegis? The Aegis is on Sing Sing. And the Replicate does come out there. Let's see if we can get any initiations off. The tower does go down completely and there we go. And now to the tower. They need to make something out of this fight if they want to save this bottom rack. They need to do it now.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and climb on Trixie. Trixie walks away now. 60 Bamboo being CC down. Nice pick up by CC. They're going to try and pick it up. No. He dropped the BKB, and now he's just going to be able to lifesteal everything.
And bash.
And the game for Complexity not being able to man down Sexy Bamboo before he gets up. It looks like mouz is just going to be able to pick up heroes left and right here. They're going to be able to grab the racks. No buyback left for Mortling. He purchased that Scotty, and he has no more buyback. I'm not even not sure if the timer was still up or not, but he did go all in on that Scotty. And now he's not going to be able to defend base, and that's going to be easily a couple of racks for mouz, and presumably the game.
Presumably. And for those of you just joining us, this is game 1, but with mouz taking this, which they look to be doing so, that is going to tie the series up at 1-1 in a best of 5. So we have a good number of matches left, and GG's come out. So there you have it. mouz takes game 1, and like I just said, now it is tied up 1-1. We will see game 2 here shortly. Very strong play from mouz, and unfortunately for Complexity, they're not going to be happy with that loss. There was a good deal of mistakes, made on the side of Complexity. You know, when it comes to laning as well as play. So they're going to have to make some adjustments here for game 2 and hopefully come back on that. But that's going to be it. We're going to take a quick break, everyone, and let me thank the sponsors before we leave. It's going to be Twitch TV, TeamSpeak, and SteelSeries. This would not be possible without you guys. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere for game 2 between mouz and Complexity in the Brawl Grand Final. Be right back.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack. Radiant's dire victory.